Hello everybody. Today I'm going to scrapbook this photo of my grandson who is just about to turn 3 and he's practicing showing you how old he is with his fingers. And you know, we take that for granted, but it's actually a really hard thing to do now that I've really watched someone try to figure that out. Anyway, I think it's a cute photo of him. Of course, I think most photos of him are cute. But what I've done here is I've taken that LE Studio background paper, which that diagonal background, which is the white and aqua color. That's from the Sycamore Lane collection. It's the running stitch paper. I've also grabbed a scrap of that Sycamore Lane feathers paper, which is what the polka dot paper, the orange polka dot paper is there. And my idea for this layout was to cluster a lot of L Studio die cut somehow and to use up that frame, which I've just stuck at the bottom there. I have quite a few packs of L Studio embellishments, either their monthly kits or embellishments from some of the collections. I love them, but it just seems like they multiply instead of, the more I use them, the more they multiply. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here is I'm really clustering. And I have these freckled fawn letters, wood veneers numbers that I got in like a closeout sale quite a while ago, more than a year ago. And I haven't used many of them. So I thought it was time to get into some of my bigger wood veneers and use up some of those. And so I want to use up that 3. I was also trying to use that shine and that XO there, but that's not going to work. I'm not going to end up using those 2. I didn't like how they looked on the layout. So I'm just, you know, I've got the 3 on there. And as I'm clustering here, I'm thinking about where is that going to go. So let me tell you a little bit more about the pieces that I'm using here. That journaling card to the right, that with a tab on it that says "You Are Awesome," comes from the L Studio Cameron collection, and it's the tabs assortment that those are from. I've pulled now some die cut circles. Again, those are all from the Cameron collection from L Studio, and they are the tidbits. And I'm playing with a few other things. That frame down there, I don't remember if I said this or not, but that frame is from the L Studio Cameron collection frames. That little stripe piece that's laying up to the left there, it says "Remember This." That tag is from the Serendipity collection, and the tags from Serendipity. This is, I'm going to stop saying L Studio because everything on this layout except for that wood veneer is from L Studio. So assume it's L Studio. So I pulled another little circle die cut there from Cameron. And then I pulled that piece of yellow lined paper. And that paper was just hanging out in a little package of bits that I had. So I don't know what collection that actually comes from. That little orange "Love Your Piece" is not on my list of things. I believe that is from Cameron as well. I'm almost positive that it is. That's where that one comes from. I believe it came from their labels, if I remember correctly. And then I have that heart there, the gray heart there. That's from Sienna. The "You Are," it says, yeah, I'm sorry, Sienna. Sienna, the name of the paper is "You Are," and it's really from the cut apart sheets from Sienna. So I'm playing a little bit, thinking about that other orange label up there. That is not going to end up there though. I did pull this banner, and that's from the Everyday Moments Bits and Pieces. I like the orange in that. The orange in that label on the upper left corner there right now is a little bit too pastel-y, I guess is the best way to describe why I decided to take that off. The other oranges are brighter. And so I'm going to take it off there. So I'm looking at this now, and I like the arrangement sort of, but I don't love how that banner's hanging down there. I just feel like I can't get it to look right. I feel it's hanging a little bit too low. And I don't like the darkness in that left corner next to the wood. So I'm playing around here with, can I do the arrangement a little bit differently and still use that Big Smiles banner there. Well, I did forget to tell you one thing there, and that is the border, which I was bad this time. I didn't write the border down. Let me see if I can see what paper that comes from. It is Ellie's Studio as well, too. I actually think that that came from one of the two Sycamore Lane papers. It either came from the Running Stitch paper or it came from the other paper. Yeah, I can't tell without ripping it off. But that I'm positive that was a cutoff from either the Running Stitch or the Feathers paper, which is the orange polka dot paper. So now I'm looking for a few more things here, and I'm going to cut this yellow label from the Sycamore Lane cut apart sheet. It's called Autumn, I believe. Yes. Oh, wait, nope, sorry. It's called Memories. So the cut aparts are called Memories in the Sycamore Lane collection. I'm not going to end up using it, but I am going to use something else from that paper, which is the little piece that says remember this right below it. It's the aqua color. And now what I'm doing, because I have a basic kind of idea about how all of those bits and pieces and layers are going to go together, I'm going to start putting some of them down, because that will help me get the smaller pieces in. And that's what's happening here. And I'm just being careful that I'm not leaving any weird trapped white space. It was one of the reasons I also didn't like that banner on the left side there. And I'm inking everything with my Memento Dewdrops gray flannel ink. It's one of my favorite 3 colors to ink with. And there's that yellow line scrap. It just brings a really nice pop of yellow into the page. I'm going to tuck this die cut here down far enough that you're not going to see the remember this, but that's fine. I really don't need it. I really wanted the height and the color there. So now I have that tiny little orange journaling spot. It carries that orange through the page, so it's in a couple of different spots, carries your eye around the layout. And then that little die cut that says Too Cool. And that little die cut that says Too Cool, I'm going to pop up on foam adhesive. It's from my big roll of foam adhesive that you can get on Amazon, the Scotch. I believe it's a 1/2 inch wide tape. And that just gives some more dimension into the layout in a different way. Because everything right now, other than the wood veneer that's on there that I'm going to put on the left side right where it is right now, everything else is pretty flat. So I'm toying with there, putting that yellow label under, because I want some more yellow on the bottom. That yellow on the top right is so bright. I need some more yellow. But what's happening there is if I do that, it's kind of a weird arrangement. Then it's stacked way too far to the bottom left. So what I do when I do this is I see that aqua remember these special moments piece there, and I'm going to put that on the bottom border. So I'm going to be creating a diagonal line through my layout from the top left with the Big Smiles banner all the way to the bottom right with that little piece. And then I found this cute little die cut circle that says thumbs up, and that actually is going to end up being my title for the layout. So I found some more yellow, And I don't love that piece there. It's too white, and again, it was too pastel. So what I did do is there was this yellow paper from the Sycamore Lane collection. This is the autumn paper. It's a leaves there. And I just cut off a small piece of it. It's a whole sheet of paper, which almost killed me to cut into a full sheet of paper for that tiny bit. But you know what? It needs to get used up. So it's not going to do me any good sitting in my collection when I'm having a hard time cutting into something, which I don't have a hard time cutting into things very often. But when I am, I'm reminded it doesn't do me any good sitting in my paper stack, because eventually what I'll do is throw out that paper instead of actually using it. And I got that lesson actually again today before I narrated this. My sister-in-law is a 4th grade, so an elementary school teacher. And when I have my scraps, I do use scraps, but not as often as I should. So I keep a basket of them. And what I do is I give them to her, and then her class does journals, and they use them in their journals, and they love it. And then I donate any other things too. I was thinking about putting a circular element. I'm going to interrupt that story to the left of that label there, but decided instead to put the thumbs up down on the bottom right. And then I found that date circle. So I'm going to put that there. It just gives a different, there's another shape there. So I'm going to do that there. That label that's up on the top is going to come off though. And I'm still inking. So anyway, I give my sister-in-law my scraps, and I'll give her, you know, sticker sheets that aren't used up, whatever. The kids don't really care. They think it's really cool. But what I ended up doing today is I ended up donating some full sheets of the old My Mind's Eye Wild Asparagus collection. I still really like the paper, but I just don't use it. I think my style, based on even what you're looking at here, has become a little bit more clean. And so even though I love that paper, I haven't used it. I mean, that collection is so old. I don't even know. It's probably 7 years old or something like that. And so I decided, you know what? It's not doing me any good. I think I made one layout a little bit earlier this year with it, but I don't have a ton of it left. But I probably could have made at least 4 layouts with what I had left. But I decided, you know what? Let's give it to the kids because they will use it and they'll love it. So that's what I did today. So if you love paper, do not be afraid to cut into it. I don't think I was afraid to cut into it. What it was is I bought so much of it. And like I had 4 sheets of some of those papers, which is, you know, that's a ridiculous amount now, at least for me, for most sheets of paper. Sometimes I will do that, but not most of the time. What I'm doing here is I'm adding some wood veneers. Those are from Studio Calico. That is a little wood veneer that says "So Very Important," and it's just a wonky circle. Kind of a cute little piece there. And I'm gluing all these things down. And now that I'm looking at my layout, this is all done. I have it in front of me. I'm going to put a wood veneer heart up on that big Smiles banner up there in just a little bit. And I don't have any wood in the bottom collection there with the thumbs up. And I think when I take this to my back to my scrap room to be put away, I think I'm going to add another little heart down there because it's like the diagonal isn't completed because there's wood at the top left, there's wood where the 3 is, there's wood on the bottom, and then it stops and there's no more wood. So if I put one more little heart on that little thumbs up die cut circle, it'll complete that. So just so you know where my head is here. I just didn't see it at the time. I had thought about putting a piece of wood there. I know that I had put like one of the phrases I was thinking about at one time there, but I didn't end up using it. And again, here I'm playing. I have hearts in lots of different sizes. And I put the hearts in more places than they're going to end up. What happened is, as I was doing this, I thought too many hearts was distracting. There are so many layers and different pieces of paper here that it was just a little bit too much. And there's a heart going up on the top. So I'll take a heart about that size and put it down in the bottom. I'm using my micro glue dots here to get those wood veneer hearts down. And I'm just about done here. I'll do just a little bit of journaling with my gray Chamel pen, which I'm doing here. And then I will be all finished. So I hope you are all well. I will be back with you soon with another layout. Bye!